He cheated on her 1 week before their wedding. Barcelona was glowing under the warm evening sun when Elena Morales stepped out of the bridal shop with the biggest smile of her life. Her wedding was only 7 days away. For months, she and Daniel Castillo had planned every little detail. The ceremony would be held in a beautiful old church outside Barcelona. The reception would take place at a small vineyard in Catalonia. There would be white roses, Spanish guitar, candles, and a long dinner under the stars. And Elena had already chosen the song for their first dance. She had even practiced it alone in her bedroom, because she wanted everything to be perfect. Daniel was the man she had loved for 4 years. They had met in Madrid when Elena was visiting her cousin. Daniel had accidentally spilled coffee on her coat at a crowded cafe. Instead of getting angry, Elena had laughed. Daniel had apologized at least 10 times. Then he offered to buy her another coffee. That coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into a weekend together, and eventually, into 4 years of love. Daniel wasn't perfect. He was stubborn. He worked too much, and he sometimes forgot important dates, but he loved Elena. At least she believed he did. One evening, while they were walking through the narrow streets of Barcelona, Daniel stopped in front of a small jewelry store. Elena looked at him. "Why are we stopping?" Daniel smiled. "I saw something." Inside the store, he looked at a beautiful gold bracelet. Elena laughed. "You're not buying me another wedding gift." Daniel shook his head. "This isn't a wedding gift. What is it?" "A reminder." "Of what?" "That no matter how busy life gets, I'll always choose you." Elena's eyes filled with tears. She hugged him. "I don't need anything expensive." Daniel kissed her forehead. "I know. You're enough." He smiled. "So are you." They had moments like that all the time. Moments that made Elena believe she had found her forever. 1 week before the wedding, Elena was at home with her mother, preparing wedding invitations. Her phone rang. It was Daniel. "Hey, beautiful," she smiled. "Hey, are you busy? I'm trying to finish these invitations." "Don't work too hard." "You're telling me that?" Daniel laughed. "I'll be home late tonight." "Again?" "There's something I need to finish." Elena sighed. "You've been working late all week." "I know." "Daniel, yeah? I miss you." His voice softened. "I miss you too. Come home early. I'll try." She smiled. "I love you. I love you too." The call ended. Elena stared at the phone for a moment. Something felt different. She couldn't explain why. Maybe it was simply the stress of the wedding. Maybe she was nervous. She tried to ignore it. That night, Daniel didn't come home until after midnight. Elena was still awake. "You're late." "I know." She looked at him. "Everything okay?" "Yeah." He kissed her forehead. "Go to sleep." She wanted to ask more, but she didn't. The next morning, Daniel left early. Elena stayed home. While cleaning the apartment, she noticed Daniel had forgotten his laptop. She smiled. He always forgot something. She picked it up to put it on the desk. Then his phone buzzed. A message appeared on the screen. Elena wasn't trying to read it, but she saw the name, Clara. And beneath it were only 4 words. "I miss last night." Elena froze. Her heart stopped. She stared at the screen. Another message arrived. "Are you sure you're still marrying her?" Elena's hands began shaking. She couldn't breathe. She read the messages again, then again. She sat down. Clara. Who was Clara? She searched the name. There were no clues. But then another message appeared. "Please don't make me regret trusting you." Elena felt sick. She called Daniel. No answer. She called again. Still nothing. Then she noticed something else. A restaurant receipt inside his jacket, a place in Barcelona. The date was the previous night. 2 people, champagne, and a handwritten note. Elena didn't cry. Not yet. She simply stared at the receipt. Then she whispered, "Who are you?" That afternoon, Daniel finally came home. He walked through the door smiling. "Hey." Elena was sitting on the sofa. Her face was completely expressionless. Daniel stopped. "What happened?" Elena looked at him. "Who is Clara?" His smile disappeared. For several seconds he said nothing. That silence told Elena everything. She stood up. "Who is she?" Daniel looked away. "Elena, don't." She raised her hand. "Just tell me the truth." Daniel sat down. "It's complicated." Elena laughed bitterly. "It's not complicated." She held up his phone. "You cheated on me." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "I made a mistake." "A mistake?" "One time." "One time?" "Yes." She stared at him. "You slept with another woman 1 week before our wedding and you're calling it a mistake?" Daniel lowered his head. "I was confused." Elena couldn't believe what she was hearing. "You were confused?" "I love you." "Then why did you do it?" "I don't know." "That is the worst answer you could have given me." Daniel stood up. "Please listen. No. Elena, you want me to listen? She pointed toward the bedroom. Our wedding dress is hanging in there. She pointed toward the table. The invitations are ready. Then she looked at him. And you're standing here telling me you don't know why you slept with another woman. Daniel started crying. I was afraid. Of what? Getting married. Elena became silent. Daniel continued. I love you. I always have. But suddenly the wedding became real, and I panicked. So you found another woman? I didn't plan it. But you did it. Yes. Elena nodded slowly. I understand. Daniel looked at her. You do? Yes. She picked up her engagement ring. I understand that you don't deserve me. She took the ring off. Daniel's face changed. Elena. She placed it on the table. The wedding is over. He stepped toward her. Please don't do this. You already did. She walked into the bedroom. Daniel followed. Elena, please. She opened the closet. Her wedding dress was hanging there. She touched it. Then she started crying. I spent 6 months choosing this dress. Daniel stood behind her. I know. I imagined walking toward you. I know. I imagined you smiling. I would have. She turned around. You should have thought about that before touching someone else. Daniel had no answer. That night, Elena called off the wedding. The news spread quickly through both families. Her mother cried. Her father was furious. Daniel's parents begged Elena to reconsider, but she refused. She left Barcelona the next morning and went to stay with her cousin Sofia in Seville. She needed distance. She needed silence. Most importantly, she needed to remember who she was before Daniel. The first few days were terrible. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't eat. Every song reminded her of him. Every couple made her angry. Every wedding photograph on social media felt like an insult. Then one afternoon, Sofia took her to a small cafe. You can't stay inside forever. I don't want to see people. You don't have to talk to anyone. Sofia put a cup of coffee in front of her. Just sit here. Elena looked outside. A street musician was playing Spanish guitar. A little girl was dancing beside her mother. An old couple was sharing a pastry. Life was continuing. Even though Elena felt like hers had stopped, she watched the old couple. The man carefully wiped a little sugar from the woman's cheek. She smiled. Something inside Elena softened. Maybe love wasn't dead. Maybe she had simply given her heart to the wrong person. Weeks passed. Elena slowly started rebuilding herself.
She began helping Sophia at her small event planning business. She discovered that she loved designing wedding decorations. Ironically, weddings. At first, she hated the idea, but eventually, she realized something. She wasn't afraid of weddings. She was afraid of trusting the wrong person. One evening, while arranging flowers for a wedding, Elena received a message. Daniel. She didn't open it. Another message arrived. Then another. Finally, she turned her phone off. But the next morning, Sophia handed her an envelope. Someone left this for you. Elena looked at the handwriting. Daniel. She almost threw it away. Instead, she opened it. Inside was a letter. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm not asking you to come back. I'm only asking you to know the truth. I cheated because I was weak. Not because you weren't enough. Not because I didn't love you. I was terrified of becoming a husband. And instead of admitting that fear, I destroyed the one person who trusted me. You deserved honesty. You deserved better. And I'm sorry I learned that too late. Elena read the letter twice. Then she folded it. She didn't forgive him. But for the first time, she stopped blaming herself. Months later, Elena returned to Barcelona. She had changed. She was stronger, more confident, and she had started her own small event planning company. One evening, she was walking near the beach when she saw Daniel. He was standing alone. Their eyes met. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Daniel smiled sadly. You look happy. Elena nodded. I am. I'm glad. She looked at him. How are you? I'm learning. To live with what you did? Yes. There was a long silence. Then Daniel said, I still love you. Elena took a breath. I know. I wish I could change that night. You can't. I know. He looked at her. Do you ever think about what our life would have been like? Elena smiled sadly. Sometimes. Me too. She looked toward the ocean. But I don't miss who I was. Daniel looked confused. What do you mean? I loved you so much that I forgot I deserved to be loved properly. His eyes filled with tears. You deserved better. Yes. Daniel nodded. I hope you find it. Elena smiled. I already did. He looked surprised. With someone else? She shook her head. With myself. Daniel smiled through his tears.
That sounds like you. They said goodbye. And this time, Elena didn't cry. She walked away. Not because she had stopped caring, but because she had finally stopped waiting for someone to become the person she needed. A year later, Elena was helping organize a wedding in Valencia. She stood near the entrance, watching the bride walk toward the man she loved. The bride was smiling. The groom was crying. Everyone around them was celebrating. Elena smiled too. She no longer saw weddings as promises that could never break. She saw them as choices. Every single day, two people had to choose honesty, choose loyalty, choose each other. Love wasn't just about saying, "I'll never hurt you." It was about being strong enough not to hurt the person you promised to protect. And Elena had learned that lesson the hardest way possible. 1 week before her wedding, the man she loved had cheated on her. It had destroyed her heart. But it hadn't destroyed her. Because sometimes, the end of one love story is the beginning of another. Not necessarily with another person. Sometimes, it's the beginning of falling in love with yourself again.